After last year, where you were able to get to the third set with Tommy Paul in an incredible match, what are your expectations this year?
Yeah, that was a tough match. That was a tough match. I was up a break in the third. Actually, I thought I had that one, and I let it slip away. I was yelling "Come on" too much. He loves it. He loves when guys do that. So I was doing that a little too much. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've improved a lot since last year. Everything's gotten better. I feel like in my game and also my movement. So yeah, it's nice to get a bye as well, round of 16 automatically. So I get to save the body a little bit. So yeah, looking forward to playing Delray Beach Open this year.
In last year's U.S. Open, the U.S. had half the semifinal field of the men and the women, and now in Australia, you guys had another run with a lot of young Americans like yourself and Lerner. Do you kind of pick that fever up, that intensity up on the grounds that, hey, other Americans are rolling? Do you kind of feed off that energy, or do you kind of keep it self-directed to yourself?
No, yeah, not really. I feel like growing up, I would see Americans doing well, and that kind of inspired me. But since I've been on tour, it's just kind of been tunnel vision on myself. Because I try not to compare myself to everyone else, because everyone's got their own path and journey. So I try to stay away from the comparing game. 'Cause I used to do it. It takes a toll on you mentally. So.
At this event, you're playing doubles and singles as well. What is that choice? Why do you make the choice to play doubles and singles? Is it maybe to prep Davis Cup or something?
I just love doubles. That's why I play doubles. I mean, I'm a singles player. Obviously, my singles ranking is higher, but I love doubles, and I'm playing with Mackie, and we're very good friends. One of my best friends on the tour. So, yeah, and I think also it's great practice for singles. You work on your serve, return, volleys. Get rallies that you would never get in singles. So I think it helps your game, and honestly, I just love it.
Kind of talking back to the aspect of your fellow Americans. Obviously, a lot of the talk has been Wendell, another American man who slam has been over 20 years now. Do you feel like you have what it takes throughout your career to ultimately do it? Is that something that you're thinking about as potentially being one of your longer term goals in the future?
Yeah, I mean, winning a slam is so tough. I mean, there's a reason an American hasn't done it. There's been a lot of good Americans the last 20 years, and no one's been able to do it. The Europeans kind of been dominating, but I think if I become a lot better of an athlete, and I can get more free points off my serve, and 3 out of 5 getting that free points off your serve helps a lot. Just holding easier, and you just got to play the big points well. I think also mentally, it's a big hump to win a slam, your first slam. It takes a lot mentally to win it. I mean, Zverev is unbelievable, and he hasn't won a slam. So if he hasn't won a slam, it's going to be tough for me too. So we'll see as my career goes on. I don't really think about it too much. I'm not thinking, I need to win a slam before my career ends. But obviously, if I did, that would just complete my life. I'd be so ecstatic. Yeah.
Are you friendly with Ethan Quinn? And do you find it interesting that you were close to committing to Georgia? He went to Georgia, different paths, but he's on the rise now, and you may actually end up on a similar trajectory.
Yeah. Actually, I was just talking to him right before I came here. Actually, he picked us up. He picked me up when I was talking to him because I wanted to play him in doubles because they just lost their first round. Him and my friend Lerner, they play together. But yeah, Ethan and I are pretty close. We're the same year, 04. We're both from California. We play juniors. I've never beaten him in singles. I'm 0-4 or something like that. He's owned me. I haven't played him in a couple years, but. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, we would have been very good in college if if I went and then he stayed, we would have been very good. And we've talked about that, and I've thought about it a good bit. That would have been a lot of fun. But I think we're both happy with what we're doing.
So you had a pretty incredible rise in the tennis world. What is the biggest pinch me moment that you've had so far?
The pinch me moment. That's a good question. When I broke top 100 last year, I won a challenger break. I was 23 now. Jeez, in 23, I broke top 100. And I was like, it was unreal feeling that, and then stepping on Ash to play center in the second round of the Open last year. Those are probably the two moments. I think breaking top 100 supersedes stepping on Ash. So that's something that's what you strive for. Breaking top 100. That's the holy grail. So that definitely breaking top 100. Yeah.
What were your experiences like at the Next Gen Finals?
Yeah, so I played the Next Gen event twice, so both in Jeddah. It's interesting going to Saudi Arabia, but I honestly, it was great. They treat you really well, so it helps. The first year I didn't win a match, so that was brutal. But last year I went 3-0 in my group. I was playing really well, and then lost to one of my good friends, Lerner, who I train with. So he read me like a book in the important moments. So that was tough. But yeah, it's a great event. I think it's great they have it. It's a nice little bonus money for us young guys as well to kind of keep us going. And yeah, I think overall it's a great event. And yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
you talk a little bit about college tennis. What advice would you give to someone that is maybe doubting about going into college tennis, or, as your case, trying to go pro?
I mean, I was going to go to college ranked 250. I was going to go, and then I finaled Newport, and I got to 140, and then that kind of made a decision for itself. I think if you're not in slam qualies and you're having doubts, then I think go to school, because you can always go pro. You have plenty of time, and you can't always go to school once you turn pro. It's tough to go back to school. So I think school is the right option. I mean, that was what I was thinking my whole life until, for me, it just kind of happened. I got lucky, but I think college is a great pathway. You look at all these guys now in the top 100. Fernley just had an incredible rise. He played at TCU. He just finished, and there's plenty of other guys I can name. But yeah, I think college is great.
Piggybacking on that college question, there are a group of you guys now, young guys, you and Lerner had like great moments at Next Gen, at the Australian Open. What is it like having almost a college team, support? Like, you're obviously individuals,
yeah,
an individual sport, but you're all friends and you're together going
through it. We support each other for sure. I mean, honestly, like, we don't spend a ton of time away from the site with each other, just because we all have different schedules, and one of us playing a night match, and then we were playing on separate days, so it was all jumbled, so I didn't get to see him a lot. But yeah, I mean, we have this little group, and we all support each other, and I think that's fantastic. And I just played Davis Cup, and I was told that that's very, very similar to college, and I absolutely love Davis Cup. So yeah, I think college would have been fantastic for me. But yeah, I never got to experience that atmosphere, unfortunately.
Obviously, I asked you a loaded question earlier before about winning a slam possibly, but focusing more shorter term. Do you have any specific goals that you want to hit in 2025? Obviously, you got a great start to the year, had that incredible run to the Australian Open in 4th round, but where do you see yourself by the year's end?
For me, my biggest goal, I mean, ranking is, it's cool, but I think winning a title, I want to win a title at some point. I had match point in Newport last year in the final, and I was very close, so I would love to get a title. That's my biggest goal this year.
If you could face any player, past or present, in a dream match, who would you play?
Ooh, past or present? That's a good one. I haven't thought about that. I would say Fed, but he would just roll me, so I don't really want that. My coach. I don't want to play my coach, Robbie Ginepri. He sent me the Open. He got 15 in the world. I'd want to play him. I think we talked some smack to each other, and I think we'd have a good match. I think he would probably get me, but I think we'd have a good match.
If you could swap places with any other athlete for a day, who would it be and why?
Probably LeBron, because that guy lives an outrageous life, and when he goes to a game, 8 hours early, and like just what he does, his habits. Got to experience that for a day. That'd be cool, because I mean, he's one of the greatest athletes of all time.
One more question. Kind of a follow-up to the earlier question. You mentioned that you've come close to winning a title a few occasions, namely Newport. What do you feel like, do you feel like your Australian Open run and getting over the hump of beating those two top 20 players, do you feel like that will help you maybe mentally getting over the hump and claiming the ATP Tour title?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, having the confidence to beat top 20 players in Grand Slams, because I mean 3 out of 5 is a whole different ballgame than 2 out of 3. So having the confidence to beat those guys in 3 out of 5 definitely, I feel like will help me as the year goes forward. Yeah, because I mean you got to go through a couple of those guys to win a tournament. I mean, example, this week you got Taylor here. I mean, he's top 5. So I mean, you got to go through someone very good to win a title always. So yeah, I think I'm going to take those couple wins and kind of roll with it this year.